Welcome back to episode 06359469420 of the Unpaid and Underrated Podcast, a podcast by crew, for crew, relentlessly mocked by the hosts of the podcast. You might say, who are those hosts? That doesn't sound familiar. Well, you're correct. It is not familiar. It is the one and only Big Nate here live from Akron, Ohio, the land of tires and stuff. Joey and Keith, while they are here, they're not here. They're like here in spirit and maybe in flesh. I don't know. But they're on the road to Lift Hard, Live Easy. Keith's really fired up about that. So in their place today, I'm joined by some handsome fellows. I'm joined by one, Mr. Big Dominger, whatever we call him. Would you introduce yourself, good sir?
I'm Big Damager.
Hi, welcome. We're joined by our resident scientist, Big Kevin.
Hey, y'all.
And last but not least, for a second week in the row, we might even consider him one of the hosts at this point. None other than Big Scants.
Who? Guy sounds like a real jerk.
Yeah, but we'll keep him around. So we've got a motley crew together, and secretly hiding in the shadows are your friendly neighborhood Joey and Keith, but we will not introduce them. Joey stated that he will, if he deems it funny, say something hilarious into his microphone. So maybe we'll get a chance to experience that. But if I was really mean, I would say I doubt it. Haha. All right, let's kick off the age-old tradition of what are you boys drinking tonight?
I'll start.
It's on you.
Oh, boys, I got some keys.
What?
Got a little monkey shoulder on the side. I don't know. We're just going all over the place, man. I'm retired. I'll do whatever I want.
What's a monkey shoulder?
It's a blended whiskey.
Oh, okay.
It's that part of the arm of a monkey where it meets the torso.
Yeah.
That's it.
I thought that was just like a strongman injury.
Joey, I thought you said you were only going to chime in if you had something funny to say.
Yeah.
You were waiting on that one. I know you were. You were waiting for the first thing I said to do that. Yeah. You.
Man, we got zingers today. Kevin, what are you drinking today?
I've got a Polar Blackberry Mango.
Ooh, the
It's in
polars.
the spot right
Polars. Mr. Chris.
A Good and Gather Dr. Cherry Vanilla.
Good and Gather. That's what we're doing tonight.
So we are Good and Gather.
And myself, I've got a nice fresh water in the Owala with an unpaid and underrated sticker on it. And if you say, man, I wish I had one of those stickers. Well, lucky for you, we're going to record this and it'll come out after the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic. But if you were listening to this afterwards, you could have met up with Keith, and maybe if you were nice to him, he would give you a sticker, and you could also put it on your water bottle. But that's up to you. I guess important thing to note about this week's episode is we will be recording before the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic, but talking a little bit about it. So basically, this is like Inception meets The Matrix meets whatever other time movies that you're into. I know Keith recently gave Dark Matter on Apple TV a pretty high rating, so maybe it's a little bit of that. We're going into a box, hit a multiverse, the whole 9 yards. No spoilers. So just, a little preface for what's going on tonight. But what else is going on tonight is we're all wearing something. Chris, what are you wearing?
The Lift Evil collaboration tee with Big Frank from Lift Evil.
Now, there's an important question with that shirt. What rests on your shoulder or on your arm or your monkey's arm even?
It does Discord crew.
Ooh, one of the original crew. That's the first crew merch that's ever existed. Exciting stuff. Kevin?
I've got the Massonomics adjacent Basement Brandon Bar Don't Lie shirt.
Kevin, is there any specific reason you might wear that shirt today?
Brandon did compliment my basement gym today. He said that he approves of my gym on the Vintage Weights PGH gym tour video that just went up.
Where might we find that? Why don't you just give a quick shout out to that video, Kevin?
Yeah, quick plug for Rob, great guy, Vintage Weights PGH. He's on YouTube, Instagram. I think he's too old for TikTok, but
it's vintage.
He's on all those other ones, so it's Vintage Weights PGH. Look him up.
Yeah, you can
Vintage
check out.
Check out.
Yeah. It's I saw a clip from it. It looked really good. I haven't watched the whole thing. It's substantially very long. Apparently you have a large gym.
37 spare minutes. It goes by quick.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to, but the thing is, like, I'll throw on a lot of videos, but I want to really take my time and understand it. Do I have the ability to just drive an hour and see Kevin's gym in person? Absolutely. But would I rather just spend 27 minutes watching it on YouTube and not seeing it in person? Apparently. So one of these days I'll do both and it'll be thrilling. And I, like Basement Brandon, will give it a big old thumbs up, I'm sure. Scants, what the heck are you wearing, Mr. Retired Man?
It's a little bit of reverse psychology in prep for the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic. I'm going to bench very light, but I'm tricking my body into benching heavy.
Yeah.
It's science.
It's science, it's massonomics. I believe that's how that goes.
Yes, sir.
I believe that's the age-old statement.
The new science-based lifting, optimization, and following all the studies that are coming out about that now?
That's it. WebMD, peer review.
Yeah, peer reviews.
Yeah, proper stuff. .org. .edu.
Have you checked Ask Jeeves to see if it had any recommendations?
Ooh, I was going to go with Firefox.
Firefox. Yeah, check out Mozilla's open source documentation on it.
I think I got it off LimeWire.
LimeWire? Dude, we should start selling merch on LimeWire. Should we do that? Yeah. As for myself, I'm wearing the one and only, well, not the only one. There were multiple made, but it's mine, and so none of you have it. But the unpaid and underrated Massonomics collab t-shirt. I felt like it was the only shirt I'm allowed to wear on this podcast if I ever show back up. So I guess I'll just wear this forever. I bought multiple to accommodate that. My Keith head stickers are sitting behind me out of view, but they are in my possession. Quick note. Wanted to, clear the air on this shirt. I know there were a lot of rumors spreading around. But I do, in fact, watch everyone on security footage. That is real. Those were real security things, whatever we call them in the business. I can't tell you because it's top secret. So that is real. You should be afraid.
I heard the footage comes from the birds.
Yes. Yeah. So me, bird watcher. Yeah, we've got it all figured out. Security footage is real. But for real, I did want to give out just another shout out to my boy Miles for helping me on that video. Like, Tanner and Tommy came to Joey, Keith, and I, and were like, hey, we're going to do a shirt. And I wrote, and Keith was like, should we take pictures in it? And I was like, we should probably do a video. And I was driving with my buddy Miles back from Cleveland, not to see Kevin, unfortunately. And Keith had alluded to, he either does video for a living or he has a very committed hobby, and he does do video for a living. But we were driving together and I said, yeah, I want to do a video for this thing. And he's like, okay, let's do it. In between him saying, let's do it, and the recording of his video, one of his children broke both of their legs. And so the fact that we got the whole thing recorded was a true miracle, and it was truly great, and I'm very excited with the way that... Your
buddy doesn't happen to know Ryan, does he?
Ryan?
Yeah, he didn't shake hands with Ryan, did he?
Oh, no. That would be his kid.
Yeah, one of his kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm just surprised we heard about your friend Miles before we heard more about your friend Tom.
Yeah, right. Well, listen, Tom, we'll have him on at some point. We'll get to him, but I really wanted to highlight Miles and all of that he has done for us as crew. So
it was a good video.
yeah, retired. I guess we'll call him a retired powerlifter as of now. But yeah, he's in on it. He knows the deal. So thanks. Shout out to Miles. Shout out to Massonomics for the collab. And this is all one big sales pitch. Go buy them, please. We need a speedboat. I have children that need to eat. Joey has children that need to eat. Scants is retired, so he has fixed income now, so he needs, some money to play with or whatever you do in retirement. Probably a speedboat.
I'm fucking busier now than when I wasn't retired.
That's the way it goes. But yeah, that's what I'm wearing. All of my thoughts and feelings. Yeah, what last week's episode, which is this week's episode, which is yesterday's episode at the time of recording. Y'all had time to listen to it?
Yep. I got through it.
You got through it.
I got through it.
It's a tough.
No, it actually, that episode really got me ready for this week and looking forward through Saturday and just wanting to get out there Thursday and see everybody again and hang out and stop at Pounders and keep drinking and just have a good time. I got to give it five iPod touches.
Man. Kevin?
I'm about halfway through the episode right now. They're going through their schedule, and they just got to the Lift Hard Live Easy part. So I really wonder what's going to happen next after the meet. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone really knows.
No one does.
But based off all that, I'll have to give it 5 mosquitoes out of 5.
Great rating. Scants. Your rating, sir.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. It brought up a lot of Big Dammy saying, brought back a lot of memories, dude. I cannot friggin' wait to just see everybody rock the house. Maybe have a beer or two. I hear they're very tasty. I've never had beer before, so that should be fine. I'll definitely give it 5 out of 5 servings of tiger meat at the zoo.
Whoa, it's a prestigious award. And I did listen to all of this podcast from this week, and it was quite a saddening affair, as many of you might know, listeners, and you'll know upon listening to this that I will not be attending the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic again for another year in the row. Am I having another child?
Are you telling us something?
What do you mean?
Are you having another one?
No. We're not. No new. Oh, it would be great, but it would also be a whole lot to have a whole nother child in that short of a time span. That would be quite an adventure. No children.
Irish twins.
Yeah, that would be. Oof, that would be a thing.
Nate, I do got to say, I did just check into my flight a couple hours ago. I'm flying out tomorrow. There are still empty seats on the flight to Minneapolis.
Are there full wallets of any potential sponsors for my trip? That is.
You're flying out tomorrow, huh?
Yeah.
Gotta get there get there early and help set up.
I'm getting into Minneapolis tomorrow, and then my cousin lives in Minneapolis, and we're going to drive the rest of the way on Thursday.
No, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a drive ahead of you.
Big Andrew.
Got a big drive ahead of you.
Yeah, it's only about 5 hours.
No, that's not bad. That's just I get to Keith's house that fast, I think. I always forget. I can't remember if Keith's house is like 2 hours away or 6 hours away. So somewhere in between those.
Door's always
numbers.
open, buddy.
Hey, in that case, while you're gone, I might need to pick up a few things.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
And just to harken back to something you said earlier, Big Keith here still runs Mozilla Firefox on his Windows computer.
Thank you for
It's my
that.
default browser.
Sorry for browser shaming you there, Keith.
That's fine. It's very out of date.
No,
Just backtrack a little bit.
Firefox is a great browser. We won't go too nerdy, but it's a great choice. Supports privacy.
For masters.
Yeah.
It's got 100 years. I literally have 30 years of bookmarks on it that I don't want to lose. So that's half the battle.
And there's no way to move those around. So,
Shut up.
Speaking of which, I guess we'll just put this out here because I want to toot my own horn. We had unpaid and under. Oh wait, I gotta rate this episode 5 out of 5. Glaze searches for sure on this week's episode, even though it made me very sad. But yeah, big news at the unpaid and underrated headquarters. We recently released a new software for unpaid and underrated for collecting our information about guests. A new system that Keith and Joey and I developed. So for the listeners, Keith may not be sliding into as many DMs in the future. I know that makes a lot of people upset, but just putting that out there for the listeners that we might have a less invasive methodology for reaching out to potential guest informants or whatever we call them. I don't
It's
think
Nathan's security cameras.
Yes, it is just the fact that I have now wiretapped everyone and will be watching literally everyone, and I know everything now. So don't keep your eyes peeled because you won't know when I'm watching. But yeah, so huge news over here at the headquarters.
How are you going to make up for the creep factor of some stranger sliding into your wife's DM? So
how am I going to make up for it?
Yeah, there has to be something to cause somebody's wife to go, "Who's this guy that just asked about you my DMs?"
It's a good question. Let's unpack
I wish
that.
we knew a guy who was retired and had some time on his hands to do something like that.
Yeah, we can send out like a, what do you call it? Like a distraction. So we'll send Scants into the DMs to force them to do our main questionnaire because they're like, well, we don't want to interface with this weird guy, but we will do this other stuff that they're asking me. So it's kind of like it's a trick. We'll get more responses that way.
That could just be when you click the link, there's just a shirtless picture.
You might have got a preview of that earlier, huh?
Yeah. Too bad this is an audio podcast, honestly. The listeners would have loved that. Can we clip that? We clip that, please. All right. What do you guys think about pound and kilogram conversion? Kevin had brought up an interesting question in our show notes, and Kevin, you want to lead us through what's in your brain?
Yeah, I'll kick this off. So I was just doing all my getting my temps lined up for this weekend, and I always like to have the chart side by side, the pounds and the kilogram equivalent. And I was thinking back to a couple episodes ago, they had Austin Perkins on, and he was just talking in kilograms the whole time.
Yeah,
but he's an American. I'm assuming born and raised in America, so I got to assume that he was raised and grew up using pounds, but being so exposed to the IPF and how they traditionally lift in kilograms that is he able just to think in kilograms now, or is he just always doing that math in his head and knowing what the pound is and then doing it back to kilograms and wondering how that works? And I feel like that's the same way that it works when you're bilingual.
Do we have any? The first question is, do we have anyone that's bilingual on the podcast that can even speak to that? Oh, Scants, what languages do you speak?
French.
Speak English and French
and Canadian.
Given the Canadian system of measurements changed when I was in grade 3, I'm actually imperial and metric. So,
what? The question is, what can't Scants do?
Not much.
Bench and deadlift.
So what do we think? Do we think it?
Okay, so
Scants, as a person who's learned both,
are you fluent in French, or are you just very conversational?
No, I'm bilingual. I was sent on course for a year straight. So, actually, you know what? And it was very funny because I remember our teacher was telling us when we got to a point. He said, "You will know that you are, you've fully hoisted aboard the language when you dream and think in French. Like you no longer translate in your head before you say it." And I remember at one point my kids were 2 at the time, and I was, I don't know, giving them a tub or something like this. We're playing word games and all this kind of stuff. And I was running through numbers with them, and I'm like, 13, 14, 15, 16, 10, 7. Because in French, 17 is 17, 10, 7. And I was like, 10, 7. How the fuck do you say 10, 7 in English? Like I couldn't even, my brain was automatically thinking in English or in French. So now with Austin there, his brain, if he's been using metric long enough, I guarantee you, he's literally automatically going to, he's not recalculating in his head. He literally thinks in metric. So at least for weights.
So I think that's terrifying to, like, in your example of not being able to get the numbers right. So I have a friend who is from the DR. He grew up in the DR, like he's bilingual, speaks Spanish, English, crazy thick accent too, which leads to hilarious things. But he came and was lifting with me for a while. But like his brain, like the way it processes numbers though, the Spanish to English number thing, just like I'd be like, hey, like we're going to do like, 225. And like, for some reason, he just like, every time he'd be like, what, wait, what? And he would like break it down. So I'm curious, like if there's ever a time where when you get very fluent in kilogram to imperial, where like things start to become, oh shoot, you start to speak imperial when you mean when you mean
It's
metric.
quite fun. As there's nothing better than being a powerlifting referee and some kid walks in to give you during the weigh-in and gives you his numbers and he's like, opening squat, he's like 400. I'm like, 880 pounds? No, 400 pounds. I'm like, dude, no, we're in kilograms, dude.
Well,
let me recalculate. And I'm like, what do you mean recalculate? Do it. How can you not just translate it in your head, dude?
Yeah, these kids. Stinking kids. I don't know. Like, I feel like that's usually a lack of knowing that I need to present these in kilograms, though.
It is, yeah. But there's still guys, like I can just look at a bar. It's very funny because I was 8 or 9 when they switched to metric system up here. So I don't think distances in metric, but I think weights in metric. I can't do friggin' Fahrenheit. Like you guys talking about it's 90 degrees, and I'm like, 90 degrees. You can near cook a roast at 90 degrees. What are you talking about, dude? So
good chicken at 90 degrees.
Yeah.
We like our chicken cold.
Yeah, unless you're Keith. One of these days we'll get him to.
You could cook it at 500 kilojoules if you wanted.
Kilojoules. Yeah. One of these days we'll get Keith to figure out what those thermoses are that he can just heat his food up and put it in, and it'll stay warm for lunchtime. But
I think in the terms of lifting, it's like if you're so used to it. I got my buddy Mark we started powerlifting together as a young fella, and he can literally look in a bar. It was funny watching him being the head ref at events, and he would hear them right next weight load 327.5 kilos, and Mark is just literally sitting there. He could do plate math. He'd be like, boys, 5 reds, 1 green, half of a white and a silver. And it's like, how the fuck did you just do that? Like he knows all the loading charts in his head. So when somebody says weight, he can go Rain Man on you and friggin' tell you.
And that's like the third language, I feel like, once you can just start mashing plates.
Yeah.
Plate math. I feel like most of us can do the pound plate math in our head real quick and easy. I remember when I first started getting into the gym in high school, there was this one defensive lineman on our football team who, great football player. He walked into the weight room while someone else was benching, and I swear he like looked in, like sniffed around, and go, is that 205 on the bar? And like at the time I was like, how did he know that so well? I'm like, oh well, like, you can look at it, but it's crazy how to someone outside of the gym culture, seeing how quickly someone can do just a little bit of plate math.
Yeah. So here's an important question. What do we call our plates? I don't know if this has ever been addressed on the podcast, but like I always say plate, quarter, 10-5, and a chip. And that's how my brain processes things, which I feel like I mix metaphors in there. But what's y'all's go-to?
I'm about the same way you are.
Yeah.
Plates. You're going up a plate. You're doing a quarter. What are you going to do? Like I'm the same way.
But so the reason I always think I'm doing this wrong is Dave Tate always says a dime and a nickel. And I just feel like 5 and 10 is so much more efficient than dime and nickel because there's less syllables. I mean, dime's still one syllable, but like dime and nickel just have never made sense.
I would have never even thought of it that way.
Yeah.
But the pause in your brain where you have to shift from it's like, oh, a quarter. I know what a quarter is. You're already thinking monetary, right?
Yeah.
So you're thinking dimes and nickels.
Yeah, but
so save in micro instance.
I don't know. I thought that was I've always been curious. I was like, because I've said that to other people that have come in the gym and with me and lifted at my home gym. And I'll just be like, listen, that's a plate. We don't say 45 in here. Like that's a quarter. And because I'll just be like, hey, throw a chip on. And they're like, what does that even mean? Like, oh, that's whatever. Yeah. We've got a lot to learn here today. It's like one of those where you're like, all right, bud.
Well, I've got the Strength Co. smooth but easy to grip 1.25.
Yeah, what do we call those?
Is that a little chip?
What'd you say, Scants?
Record breakers.
I'd call that a heaven.
Did Keith call
plates,
it?
Baby.
Keith called it a record breaker.
Record breaker. Oh gosh.
Keith's PR.
Call it a misload.
Yeah, misload. Yeah, something's off here. No,
as far as like the kilograms go, though, man, like I could do the 2.2 pretty quick, but if they don't have that chart at the meet, I'm screwed.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't do math, so I'm not big math over here.
My last meet that I did, they had pound plates at all the stations except for one, and they had kilo plates. And I'm like, it's one thing for me to get my attempts into kilos and just let them load the bar, but that was a struggle for me to warm up in kilos.
I can imagine.
Isn't it RPS? Does RPS? So they have the green pound plates, but then don't they have kilos too in there?
No,
like they'll throw like red kilos. No, they won't.
Not at the meet that I did. It was still all pounds.
Yeah, I've seen them throw some reds on there too, and I don't know if they're pounds or if they're kilos.
Might be different. I mean, they make competition plates that are in pound and kilos. Yeah. So it's either. But I literally helped Les load up an RPS meet like a month ago.
Okay.
Loaded up 100-pound plates and, quarters.
I know they got the
dimes, nickels.
Yeah.
Easy that, Keith.
Another asshole when you throw it in. Because you throw those on and you're like, oh, I had a plate. Oh, it's 315. No shit, it's 325.
I would like to just introduce Keith as he records from a literal cave in the middle of nowhere on his road to the Lift Hard Live Easy, apparently. So just wanted to...
I'm in my bed trying to not...
Wait, you're in?
I'm in.
Is your wife asleep next to you?
No, I'm in the spare bedroom.
Oh.
Yeah, bed in the spare.
We're just cuddled up with listeners. We're cuddled up with Keith tonight. Yeah, it's not.
It's like he's got standing down a hallway on a megaphone.
If you had your garage gym done, you could friggin' sleep in there.
Yeah.
Is that garage?
Yeah, you could sleep on one of those nice little ab mat crash pads.
I was laying on that the other day. I was like,
that's what they're for. Hey, you got to get your money's worth out of those suckers. They're expensive. Expensive.
If you're going to buy anything from AbMat, make sure you reach out to me first, though.
Again, from the cave of infinite degraded audio. I'd like to imagine that Keith is sitting in his bed with the blanket pulled over his head with a flashlight and like
you read porn? No, I'm talking to my friends.
He walks in. Keith, what are you doing? That's why we have so much. Sounds like a cave. He's just in a cave of blankets, which should be good for audio, but who knows?
Himself, so
yeah, I think we bullied Keith.
He's gonna go get his microphone.
It's like, daggone it, I'm gonna get my setup going. Yeah. One last thing on the being bilingual pound kilogram conversion. I feel like that's a lot like how I feel about military time. because I read. So when I got into software development more and more, like a lot of like times always come over in military time. It's always 24-hour. And so it would always be a pain in the butt when I was trying to like debug stuff. And I was just like, I was just so slow to convert it in my head. Excuse me. So I converted all of my clocks just in my house to 24-hour time and just basically forced myself to learn it. But I still only read those times as AM, PM, just like 12-hour times. And maybe at some point in my life I won't. And I say this because I know Scants probably has a very different opinion about that.
I fought it for a long time. Now I can't go the other way. Like when somebody says 8:30, I'm like, okay, just be cool. Be cool before you ask them. do you mean AM? Like it's just, I sound like an asshole asking it, but
yeah.
As soon as, and not for any other reason other than, again, just the clarity of it. I'm used to when somebody says, this is going to happen at 09. I just, my brain automatically knows it's morning. I don't, so AM or PM. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean AM or PM? I said 9. It's in the morning, obviously.
Yeah.
It's 21, right? So, but yeah, I fought that for a long time, and then in my job, and then it finally, I was assimilated. So,
yeah, I like having a 24-hour time around. I enjoy it. But yeah, I'm bilingual, as they say, but everything just is AM, PM. The worst is.
So are you saying that it's like right now it's like 21:38 p.m.?
No, I just mean that I see 21:38 and I think that's 9. Like I see 21 and I think 9. Like my brain just immediately converts the number. But yeah, sometimes though, for some reason, my brain just doesn't quite get it. And I one time just left work like 2 hours early because my brain was like, oh, it's 1300. It's 3:00. I got to get out of here. Like, and I just left. Which I've just like, and I remember when that happened, I came home, my wife was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I like looked at the clock and I was like, oh my gosh, did I just do that? So
I gotta send a text to my boss right now.
Yeah. It's like, hey, apparently I don't know how to tell time. And that's happened on more than one occasion. And I think it's just like, you get so deep into work, you look at the clock and you're like, oh yeah, I must have spent like 2 hours working on that. You didn't. It's been 20 minutes and you just left work early. But hey,
I'm still not good at the military time, but everything, I work with a bunch of old Navy guys, so everything is military time. So I had to learn it.
Yeah, I like it. It's great. It's good for database.
Between that and the alphabet. What's that alphabet called where they have Alpha Bravo, Charlie?
Alphabet.
The phonetical alphabet. Yep, I had to learn that real quick.
Like Tango, Charlie.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fuck around with that a little bit because Army guys like being retentive, and I'll just make up dumb words for it just to be a dick. And guys will be like, I'll be like, yeah, T is in tomato, and they're like, what? Tango. I'm like, tomato, tango, whatever.
Tomato, tango.
It still starts with a T.
Yeah, so it's kind of like in movies where you see them using the phonetics, and it's just like, where the fuck did you get the words for this stuff? But I just do it to have fun with the young fellas and just let them think I'm a little off balance or off center, so that's all right.
That always gets me. Why's it got to be Foxtrot? You can't just be Fox.
Just Fox.
Because it could be misinterpreted for box. I don't know. But that is a valid question.
It's funny.
It's just Nancy.
For us using that, it's not just U.S. and Canada. Like it's NATO. Everybody in NATO uses it. Yeah. So it's the same as in the airlines. English is the international language. So like we've got a lot of a large part of what I did in the military was writing orders and directives and stuff. And we have guys like, well, we just write it wherever. No, you have to write it this way. And there's a lot of it if we. Like last time I was overseas, I worked with the Americans and a bunch of other different countries too. We have standards that are set. So when you look at certain naming conventions or numbering conventions, there's no not like dates. Everybody's like, there's only one way a date is proper. It is the day, the month, the year. So it's 7/7/24 is 7th July. If it's 10/7.
That's a bad example.
Yeah, you picked the worst date.
Yeah, that's why I went and shipped it. It was 10/7. It was 10/7/24. It's the 10th of July, right?
Yeah.
It's not. It's the 7th of fuck. I don't know. Whatever the 10th month is, October. But yeah, I can't think any other way. So, but
can we now label this as a military podcast?
Yeah, this is now.
Yeah, get off this crap, dude.
We're on. This is now the OK podcast. We sound like the OK podcast right now.
Okay.
Okay. The premium date time format is the ISO 8601 for all you real nerds out there. So let's put that in there. You got to go year, month, day is honestly the best, especially for like file naming, because then everything just sorts automatically. But hey, we don't want to get too nerdy here. So we got military, we got pound and kill.
With military.
We're going about as nerdy as we can get. What else could we talk about that's nerdy? I don't know. Maybe an official statement from our sponsor, Glaze Search. And I just want to get out ahead of this. I've been receiving a ton of DMs. I mean, they've been flooding in. Keith said he's been getting a ton of them. And listeners of the Unpaid and Unrated podcast, I have terrible news for you. Unless a miracle from Lord Almighty comes before us, and I don't want to get too religious here, but I think Glaze Search may have seen its last update. IMDb, the International Movie Database, has implemented some changes into their page system and the way that they display ratings for our good friend Keith in a way that I can no longer scrape effectively, leading me to no longer be able to update Glaze Search with the most recent movies and TV watching habits of our one and only Orange Glaze. And it breaks my heart to say this, that we might have to just ask Keith what he thinks about movies now, and maybe he'll tell us from under a blanket in a spare bedroom with a flashlight. Maybe he'll tell us in person at the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic. But until further notice, Glaze Search, whatever movie is the last one in there is the last one it's going to get. And if you've got a problem with it, you're going to have to talk to the International Movie Database, or we convince Keith to go to a different platform. So wanted to get.
I may just talk to IMDb's mother about this. Absolute horseshit.
Scants, since you're retired and you have tons of time, could you just do some lobbying or whatever the kids do these days to get people to do stuff?
Well, I'm just going to go talk to IMDb.
Yeah, thank you. So
who's in charge?
Yeah, just once you get that wrapped up, let me know and we'll get back on the Glaze searching. But yeah, I went to update it and it failed, and I was like, what's going on? And then I went and looked and I was like, this is really bad. And I spent a amount of time that I'm not willing to share attempting to try to get it to fix it, and I just came up
dry.
Tell
us how long you spent in military time.
I don't know if it's work.
Like an hour.
Yeah, I spent at least 30 minutes getting really mad, and then I wanted to throw my computer, and I was like, maybe tomorrow. And I tried it the next day, and it didn't work, and it was soul crushing.
I was curious if there was like a certain porn company that tried to buy their domain name off of you.
I wish. Listen, I'll buy another domain. If anyone wants to buy glazesearch.com, I did buy it for Keith's birthday like a year ago, but like I'll take it back from Keith. He doesn't need it. But yeah, rest in peace to Glaze Search. Just wanted to get out ahead of that. I know we've been hearing a lot of chatter about that.
Well, we can still use it to look up, everything up till now. Right?
Yeah, but it breaks my heart because I was watching something and I was like, I'm very curious what Keith thinks about this, and I couldn't. There's no way to know. And
it was probably 6 anyway.
Yeah,
we can just ask him.
but then I it's not nearly as good. It's not the same.
It kind of is, because we could ask him at like 2 a.m. or 0200 as some may call. Just a steady stream of questions.
But see how ineffective that was? You had to say 2 a.m, and see how much time you lost there. So I get the point.
Yeah. 02.
Yeah. And then he has to come out from under the blanket, turn his flashlight off before he can address us. And that would just be Be a lot to ask of the poor guy. So yeah, rest in peace to Glaze Search. Maybe one of these days I'll write something for Keith to move all of his ratings to somewhere else for me.
Quote the great Chris Farley, son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's how I felt in my little heart. All right, that's all we got for general topics. Keith informed me that we may have made a great mistake last week in the recording of this podcast that I will not directly address. But if you realize that mistake, we apologize. We didn't mean to do it. And if you give us money for this podcast as our only sponsor, and we may or may not have read an ad for you, don't go back and listen and verify that. But to make up for that, we're going to read an ad this week because as a podcast host, I would never forget to do that, unlike some of the other people. So this podcast is brought to you by Massonomics. If you might know them from their hit releases like that one song that AI created, or their podcast, or maybe upcoming Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic. Will it be in the past when you hear this? Yes. Should you have went? Yes. Did you miss out if you didn't go? Yes. Does that suck? Yes. But lucky for you, there might be another road to the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic that you can hop on. And how are you going to know about that? How are you going to know when the next Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic is? Well, I'll tell you how you're going to know. You're going to go to massonomics.com. You're going to go a little backslash in that URL, and then you're going to hit join. And there you can join the Discord crew. There's tons of perks. It's Perk City up in there. You want to join. Get in the crew. You'll have all of the information about how to get to the next Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic and the roads for miles and miles and miles. So don't miss out. Join the crew. We love you. If you're not a part of the crew, if you're listening, a little birdie told me that we have some listeners of the Unpaid and Underrated podcast that are not crew. Join the crew. What are you doing? If you're listening to this podcast, you're insane to not be in the crew. So do it. Or don't. We can't make you do anything, but you should. You should do it. All right, boys.
I am just thinking of a regular listener who's not a crew member. That it is wild. It actually would be insane.
Well, I know there's one. So now, to make it further, if I remember correctly, they didn't listen to the Massonomics podcast either, which made it like
that's even crazier.
We appreciate you, dude.
What you're talking about?
How did you get here? Can you come on and tell us how you got here?
Listen, dude. We appreciate you. Thanks for listening. We love it.
What were you listening to that suggested more like this?
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. That's a great question. But yeah, so shout out to that guy or gal. I don't know what it. Yeah, Lift Hard, Live Easy predictions. Before we get that, I have other beef to go on with Joey and Keith. Keith forced everyone to make Lift Hard, Live Easy videos, Road 2 videos, whatever we want to call them. Badgered people constantly. I'm not even
passive aggressive.
Yeah.
No, he was aggressive.
I heard he went to some people's houses, but I can't confirm that.
Sharon and
I will not apologize.
You got to put on my goddamn honey-do list, for God's sake. It's ridiculous.
Everyone else was getting yelled at, and I don't know if there's like some childhood trauma I've got to unpack here or whatnot. But I even made a Road to the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic video and sent it to Keith. And Keith has not posted said video. So I want to put it out there that it does exist in the world. But we'll see if it ever sees the light of day.
Keith, are you still listening? Under your blankets. What the actual? Wait for it.
I'm here.
What the fuck? Why is that not posted?
He told me.
We'll never know. The blankets are blocking the Wi-Fi signal. He's got one of those
under there. His hand's moving really fast.
The EMF blocking.
He's got a Faraday blanket on.
Yeah, Faraday, that too. His tin hat, the whole thing. But
it's not posted in the next 30 minutes. Holy shit.
He's going to come. Listen, don't make me sick Scants on you.
There's going to be some aggressive Discord posts.
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking so hard over my glasses at you.
All right. Lift Hard, Live Easy predictions. We have, as a team of hosts, co-hosts, and guests put together a list of predictions. Oh, Keith left. We bullied him. We bullied him into oblivion.
Oh shit! I gotta get this posted ASAP.
He rage quitted.
He needs to open up as much bandwidth as he can to post the video.
The blankets were just too warm.
Stephanie's yelling at him. Turn that goddamn thing off.
Oh man, poor Keith. Poor Keith. We love you, bud. But yeah, we put together some predictions that we're just gonna walk through. We're in a weird. Oh, Keith is back. He's back.
She said I could have 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
He's coming on camera too. We're getting a shot under the covers.
Oh no, I'm really scared right now. This podcast is crazy. Joey and Keith are never gonna let me on here again. But I blame Keith. It's all Keith's fault. We got some predictions, huh? We're trying to get to them. We're in a weird. What's the right word? We're just in a weird state right now where we're recording the week of the Lift Hard, Live Easy podcast. What do we talk about? General topics? Nah, that's boring. We want to talk about what's coming up. But when you listen to it, you'll already know what happened. So you'll be able to grade our predictions. You'll be able to see into the future as we see into the past. But time's a flat circle. So maybe we're making these predictions as they're happening. Who knows? You don't know when this was recorded. Maybe we recorded this during the meet. How do you know? Do you? Anywho, here's our predictions. Prediction number 1 that we must discuss. This was a piece of information in the Discord. Again, join crew so you can see these kinds of things. Joey doing a backflip. Tanner's got a trampoline. What do we think? Is he going to? Is he not? What's the over-under here, guys?
Sleeves or wraps?
Are we talking before or after the meet?
Are we allowed back to Tanner's house after the meet?
We have the address.
I mean, technically, you're allowed to his house. The police will determine whether you can stay at his house.
I think so. I personally think if I think here's how we'll do this prediction: over under amount of drinks it takes to get Joey to bounce on the trampoline to do a backflip
at all.
Not many bounce is 0 sober.
Yeah, you think so? Is that the number?
Sober, yeah.
I was going to set the line at like 3. So okay,
I was going to say 1. I'll say 1, just to not.
I'm going to say 0. Plus, despite multiple people saying please don't do it, because he's going to be wearing a kilt. You don't need to see.
Yes, Joey.
I'm going to do a backflip. No, don't. I'm doing it good. Jesus, don't.
Yeah, Joey in a kilt doing a backflip. That's what we need. That's what the world needs. Second question, important to the whereabouts of the Friday night party. Will there be a pickup basketball game? Tanner posted some prep work, some meet prep he was doing out on the court. Do we think there will spur up a little pickup game, maybe some knockout, maybe some whatever other sports that people play on a basketball court?
I kept playing. I kept saying I was going to play horse last year. Never did, but maybe this year.
Maybe some horse.
Yep, maybe some horse.
I can see some shots being taken, but not. I don't see a full pickup game going.
No, I always feel like
no noon ball.
No noon ball. Well, we don't want anyone to break an ankle.
I definitely don't want to blow out a knee.
Yeah, you guys got to.
Yeah, Tanner's got the double whammy on that, man. That's going to trigger some major flashbacks. Both knees and ankles gone.
We'll see. I feel like shooting a basketball, like doing something with your hands while you're hanging out with the dudes, is like the best way to continue a conversation.
Absolutely.
Like you get a frisbee or just something that, and you start just like throwing something, and like you can talk for hours. Because if not, you end up like Scants and you start resting your eyes in the chair, and then the next thing you know, you've got 3 pairs of glasses on your head and you're passed out.
It's called vision.
Yeah, it's
multiple levels.
Yeah,
I thought it was style.
Yeah, style.
20 vision.
Yeah. Bloody Philistines. Well, once you add 3 of them up, one's at 15, one's at 50 plus, and then there's a minus in there. I don't know. It's metric. So
yeah.
Do they make trifocals?
I try to see. It's close enough.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll bring my monocle.
Monocle would be sick. Over under on fulfillment center tours. Set the line at 3. Will there be more than 3 fulfillment center tours? I don't think there were a lot last year.
There wasn't a ton last year.
I'll take the over on that.
I'll take the over on that. Yeah.
I'll take the under.
That's going to be a weird one because I think that's going to be Mary based.
No. How many people were in the house last year?
A lot.
1,000?
They didn't have a porta potty last year, so
true.
This year they're trying to keep people out. So
the doors will be shut. The speaking of shut doors, over under on mosquito bites received by all. I'm setting the line at 200. And this is per person, per capita. Or
it all
you
depends
do
on
math.
where you go, though. I mean, in Tanner's backyard, to me, it didn't seem. But then Joey over when they stayed at the Rumcata, or where did they? They didn't stay at the Rumcata. They stayed at the American Inn, and they said it was brutal over there. Absolutely, he's like, I couldn't even drink outside.
Interesting.
It was so bad.
Because I feel like, so in Ohio, I feel like the mosquitoes don't get that bad if you're in like a general quote like city area, but like in someone's backyard, you would get destroyed. So I find that very.
No, I think I saw Tanner posted up a pic of a plane spraying some DDT or something across the area there today. So
yeah, is that a thing?
Yeah, I could see that being a thing out there.
Saw that. I saw that and I was like, is that legit bug stuff coming from?
He said it in the podcast too. He said the city was spraying it.
I didn't think that's what it looked like. That was crazy.
We could actually call our township and we can call it the county, and the county will come out and spray our yard.
But they'll just like some dude will walk out with like a hose or something, right?
Yeah,
they won't
backs into your driveway and he turns this pump on, and it's like 2 a.m. and you hear him and it wakes you up and then it sprays the whole backyard, but it doesn't do a goddamn thing.
But hey, he woke you up at 2 a.m., so it was all worth it, right?
Yep.
That's
he
crazy.
his job. That's all I care about.
What? Yeah. Shoot. Sending a bomber plane over the house with mosquito repellent is just insane to me. But hey, South Dakota, they do it different. They do it different.
I thought the flies were worse last year.
The flies
were everywhere. Yeah. We tried to sit outside and eat at Pounders, and you couldn't. There was just flies everywhere. That's when we moved inside, and then luckily we did because we were able to get everyone into Pounders.
Like house flies or black flies?
Yeah, just little regular house flies.
Stupid ass little bastards.
Yeah, they were everywhere.
The scientific name there, Scants.
SLBs.
Yeah. We've got an important metric here that unfortunately I think the number is going to be 0. Shots of fireball taken by Lou. I believe he's not coming.
Keith just said horse flies were bad too.
Horse.
Yeah, in the Discord he said.
Oh, he's still getting us from under the sheets.
Yeah, he's still getting us somewhere.
It's coming at us from all angles. Yeah, shout out to Lou if you're listening. We'll miss you. I'll miss you because I haven't seen you since the last Arnold. So
I could have swore he was going, and I guess I missed when he said he wasn't going, or was he just never signed up?
I don't think he was ever signed up for it.
Yeah.
Someone on Unpaid and Underrated last week said that he was going to be in Mexico.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know how. So I guess I'll be in Mexico.
So all the fireball will be in Mexico.
Yeah.
Now, how many fireballs will he cause to be taken?
In memoriam?
In memoriam,
that's it. Yeah. One from a homie. That's it, bud.
So probably, I mean, at least one per person across the entire
fireball.
So at least 120. We'd set the line at 120 shots.
Minimum.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
Minimal. Well, if every person has 2 people with them, so you're like 240.
Yeah, so we'll set the line at 120 because there's some sober people or whatever. Like, so we got to think about that. So line at 120, I think, is a safe bet.
We can make that metric and just times it by 2.54.
We need to create.
I'm just 2.204.
Well, here we go.
We need to create like a constant, like like those math people do. Just a constant number that we can
cursive F.
There's a difference between a wag and a swag.
Sub L.
Yeah. I don't know how
those square root of pi.
Yeah, I don't know how that math stuff works, but I know that a constant is a thing, so we'll have to get on Big Kevin for that. He can put it in a spreadsheet and tell us what the constant for fireball shots are.
Yeah, I'll crunch those numbers later.
The mean median mode.
Yeah. That's what we really should be thinking about. What's the median number of fireball shots taken over the weekend? That's the really important thing to dissect. This one I think is huge. And shout out to our
it will be a huge number.
Yeah.
I think it actually will be a huge number.
Shout out to our cousin podcast. I want to get that in the ether. The OK podcast, powered by the Strength Co. They're our cousin podcast, as we refer to them. I want to know, how many times do we think Grant's going to say okay?
It better be every time. Every time.
Do you think it will exceed?
I'm going to say at least 100.
Yep or okay? Where are we gonna?
Actually, here's a good line. What will be higher, the number of times he says okay, or the number of pounds that Grant benches?
Oh,
so if you're a frequent listener to the Cousin Podcast, the OK Podcast, powered by the Strength Co., you might know Grant is competing bench only. Also, if you are in the Discord, you saw when he doxed himself. And sent out all of his personal information to let us know that he was doing bench only. But on the most recent 2-ish episodes of the OK Podcast, Grant stated he's going to go for about a 380 pound, I think 82.5 something, bench. So question is, will Grant hit his top set of bench 382? I forget what he said his touch and go was. He's never done it in a meet, but it's right around there. So do we think the OK will exceed? I think he said his second attempt's going to be around 350. So 350, we'll say he said he's guaranteed to hit 350 bench, second attempt. Will he say OK more, or will he say OK more than 350 times? That's the number.
Does the amount of OKs only go off of Grant or the people around him?
I feel like all OKs lead back to Grant.
Okay, so
the font of Grant.
So do you include the people around him saying it, or just Grant himself?
Yeah, because I feel like Grant might say it after every lift. We don't know.
Yeah, well, and then once everybody else starts screaming it, then Grant's going to say it more.
Yeah.
It's a recurring algorithm.
Yeah. I'm still going on. I'll take the under on that one.
The under 350? That's a foolish decision.
I'm 380. We got if he's going for 380.
Right. Well, he's going for
380.
If you listen to the OK Podcast, he really wants to do some hijinks for his final attempt of bench. So if you haven't listened to that, it's episode whatever recently happened.
I got to get into that. I listen to it here and there, and I get like between Massonomics and Unpaid Underrated, and then now the Conspiracy Randy podcast. Okay, gets pushed off a little bit for me.
Hey, if you love military talk, do you love fly fishing? The OK Podcast is for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you want to hear about crypto and everything like that.
If you're into Bitcoin, we should have started this with the block height. Shoot.
The one with big
Dr. Jake.
Dr. Jake was good.
It was epic. Military, yeah, all the good stuff. Yeah. So we don't think he'll breach 350 OKs.
Who's going to be?
I think I'm going to say he's going to breach his bench in kilos.
Okay.
So I'm going to say he'll breach the number of OKs. The number of OKs is going to be over his max bench in kilos.
If I could only figure out what that was.
Work that math out, son. There you go. Slide, roll, do all that stuff.
Oh, so you're going off of what he might hit.
What I expect him to hit.
Yeah, not the number 380 that he thinks he's going to hit.
I think he's going to hit 175 metric.
What is that? Pounds? Who knows?
Then what is that?
Kilos. It's more than that.
All right. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go.
You know the funny one? If when you're giving somebody your bench numbers and metric, it doesn't sound impressive. But if you're giving length and numbers, it does.
Yeah.
Not in miles, though.
No.
There you go. That's the trick. I got one other key Grant statistic. He mentioned on the OK podcast, and I'd recently listened to this, and I threw all these in here. But apparently, they still have like 20 of the red hats from last year that they've just found as they were packing up from the Arnold. So I just want to know: do we think that he'll sell all of the Lift Hard Live Easy red hats within the non?
If he still has them there, I want one. So
oh well,
I didn't buy one last year.
You
so
think?
I want one this year? Yeah,
he's got 20 left.
I think
if he's going to sell them anywhere, it's going to be here.
Okay,
it's going to be there. Yeah.
He said they sold like hotcakes at the Arnold. I mean, I saw like a bunch of people wearing them walking through. Mm-hmm. So maybe they'll round it out with everything going on.
Now I hope I can catch him before he sells them all.
Yeah, hey, you better get on it. Oh, speaking of which, there were 10 of the little. What do we call? Oh, I guess this is secret for crew. So
the clamps, right?
Yeah, the clamps.
It comes out after, so we're good.
Yeah, this comes out after. We'll be fine. But there were 10 clamps available. I kind of want to snag
I wish
one
you
of
would
those.
have done those ones last year because now I have the red. I have 2 pairs of the red Massonomics ones. So I really don't need the Lift Hard Live Easy, even though I like those. I like those ones too.
But you might need them.
Yeah, I might need them. You never know.
Think about how much safer you could be if you had 3 clamps on your bar. And you could really use it in between plates to space the bar out a little bit.
Each plate perfectly.
Yeah. So now rather than taking off each plate, I got to take off each clamp.
Yeah.
Right.
You could probably start to use clamps instead of plates, honestly.
Chris, you still have spring collars.
I do have spring collars, Keith. Thank you.
So you can justify one more fucking pair of real collars and get rid of those goddamn spring collars you have.
Those spring collars are free.
So what do we think? What do we think about the awards for this year? How are we feeling?
What awards though? Because the Skinny Idiot Studios ones, are they strongman only?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
because that's shitty.
When I saw that.
Hey,
I really want one of those masks.
It pays to be a strongman, as they say.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I love the wooden awards.
Yeah, the wooden plates are nice. Yeah. The Woody awards are nice.
So there is, but yeah, the masks are cool. I saw Big Connor from the Strength Co. had posted. They have I don't know where he got it. I don't know if he just made it, but they had a Strength Co. hockey mask. It was just hanging in his garage, and I was like, where did that come from?
And so they have a trophy too.
The Strength Co?
It's like the hockey mask trophy with like the beer.
I don't even think I saw
that.
It's
got the beer glasses and stuff. Yeah,
I didn't even see that. Is that for the strongman as well?
Yeah,
I think that's probably the strongman grand prize.
Interesting. How do you win strongman grand prize? Points or something?
I don't know.
Scants could tell us. He's the professional.
And you know who Skinny Idiot Studios is, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Who's that?
So he is Andy, who is Conspiracy Randy.
Oh.
How do you
Whenever
win
you see him,
points.
Just tell him you're going to get him Rumplemints later. He'll love you.
Yeah. You might know him from his illustration work as previous awards for Massonomics contests. The Brian Award. What do we think? What do we think the metrics are? It's been announced that Brian has responded. Brian's in comments responding to people.
Goes back to the next prediction. Is he back? Is Brian back in the good graces?
Can we?
Has he ever left the good graces?
What are
graces? Gave us a chance.
He's the prodigal son, man. He rolls off to do wild shit. We just sit waiting for his return.
If I had time, I was going to get a Taylor Swift singlet.
You have
If I
time.
just no, I do not have time.
But
I mean, you would have gotten the Brian's choice for sure.
For sure.
Well, you also would have caused spontaneous pregnancies throughout the entire Aberdeen community.
Do we think?
I can work some stuff with pictures and tape too. Don't roll it out just yet.
Do we think that's going to be the metric though from him? Because apparently he wrote back as to what he thinks should win.
What did he say?
He said something like, I don't know.
I'm pulling it up.
I didn't see the picture that he responded yet.
I think Tanner just said he responded.
Yeah, he didn't give us answers.
My favorite part about it is this causes him to dig deep into the Massonomics lore a little bit.
Well, not necessarily.
Realistically. Well, no, I think so, because it'd be like, dude, you got a friggin' powerlifting meet or something. Like, what are you talking about? You need my input on something like that. So I don't mean he's going to sit here and study, but he's going to start scrolling. I can see him going, you know what? These are a bunch of silly goose friggin' dudes and chips. I think I might want to get into this thing there, man.
And then he's going to go, I unfollow.
Yeah.
Or his most recent interaction.
Sorry?
His most recent interaction was on the Dumb and Dumber post from earlier today. And Big Jake running the Strongman show says, I bet Brian wouldn't want to go to Aberdeen. Don't be like Brian. And didn't tag him or anything. And Brian responded, well, you aren't winning my award. Oof. So, like, I think he's getting in on it.
I think he is, dudes. I think he's having a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, to go full conspiracy, Randy, do we think Brian's an inside job?
I'm starting to think that a little bit.
I'm not thinking it yet. I've got a little weird one. So, at one point, somebody tagged up, or I tagged up Scants, not Scants one on IG.
That was me.
Yeah, Scants is some Australian young fella, and there was the first time it ever popped up. He comes back, it's like wrong person or something like that. It was very terse and stuff like that. And it's happened before. I did it myself one time. I went to tag myself, Miss Scants, and something. I accidentally tagged dude. Now, this dude at random intervals will reach out, just seeing how you're doing, old boy. And I was like, oh, you got a competition coming up, and it's kind of funny. It was very, I'm not the man you're looking for type of thing. And now it's every once in a while he's just seeing how the other Scants is doing, and I'm like, hey, I'm doing well. How are you guys doing, eh? So
he responded to me and was like, I'm not that old.
Son of a fuck you, Scants, you son of a bitch, you Australian bastard. I'm gonna fucking not that old.
I like
so that. It might have just taken that little bit to actually I think sometimes, especially with Massonomics for the underrated crew and all this kind of stuff, it takes people a bit to realize it's like, holy shit, like these dudes are actually just about having a wee bit of fun and not any hidden agenda or whatever it is. It's just like, shit, these dudes literally just want to have a good time and have a good laugh. So who doesn't want that?
Yeah, and we're typically just joking, right? Unless you're Tango Charlie.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, except for those guys.
Just kidding.
I felt bad for the last post that we went off on, because it was like a model for them that we went off on. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's kind of bad. But then she took it down anyway, so it didn't.
Yeah, unless you're Keith. Keith will never apologize. So you have to have that mentality. Burn all the shit.
Is if somebody
creepy laugh to come in.
Yeah.
Somebody could have taken something like that and they could have run with it. You know what I mean? And had a little bit of fun and kind of diffuse the situation a little bit.
I mean, I think it's been said. I don't think that company is really a company sort of situation. I think we're just churning and burning shirts and merch, and there's no real, there's no heart behind it.
The guy they met at Arnold said that. Yeah, he was like, well, they do sell their shirts in South Carolina, I believe is where that place is. But the guy that they met at the Arnold said that Tango Charlie was bought out by a company that saw how much they were making off the shirts and figured they could do it.
Yeah. So
So
there's no heart left. It's sad to see. You hate to see that in merchandise company. But hey, again, back to our sponsor, Massonomics. They got heart. Go buy a shirt, specifically a red one with a U and U on the front of it. Other awards, we got the Brian's Choice Award. Best package, silliest goose, strongest couple, most injured. Strongest couple, that's a new one this year, right?
Yeah, I tried to go through and see what couples were going, but I only know Matt and Jess.
Yeah, well, great.
I know Nathan and Abby will be there, and then Grace and Hannah will be there, but I don't think either of the women are competing.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is, does it come into competing? Like, does the significant other have to? Does it not? But it's definitely Matt and Jess. Yes.
Yeah,
that's true. Like, what if it's symbolically the strongest or whatever, metaphorical strong, emotionally strongest couple? They start unpacking.
I like where you're going with that.
You know what I mean? Like, what bond is the strongest between these two couples? So maybe,
and I think was it Big Toby who asked this or was it Big Andrew Garrison who asked it in the Discord, who said, like, what if it's just a couple of silly geese?
That's true too.
You know, not a romantic couple, but just a couple of silly geese.
Yeah,
with a strong
romantic, yes.
What? What did you say?
Did we just have a big pause there or what?
Did you say?
Yeah, it was just.
I thought you said I have a guess.
No.
Oh.
I just heard him
not romantic
something.
yet.
What? Say it again.
Okay.
Lord might bring them together. You
Oh,
never know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Keith posted in the Discord that he wants him and Joey to win the strongest couple award, which I do think would make me very happy if that did happen.
No, he's right. He's texting that through like whatever under the blankets. No, you come out and say it.
We wouldn't be able to understand him if he said it, so he's got to get it somewhere where we can understand clearly.
Most injured is going to be a good one because or most injured, most masters. I mean, Scants, you already got it. So now it's got to be Big Mo. Big Mo's got to be most masters.
Well, most masters, yeah. I think Kevin's right. I don't think that's an award this year.
Well, no, it's not an award.
No, it's not. I thought it was in there.
Nope. But most injured is, which everybody assumes is a master. But I mean, like, you got to keep. Yeah, oh my Jesus, I'm a fucking pile of shit right now. But like, Big Quinn is coming off double hip replacement a couple of years ago. Both me and Mo and I had a couple of issues in the last few months that we sorted out and all this kind of stuff. But Tommy, Jesus, every time you turn around, Tommy, he's a sub master, but I think he's a master's 4 in disguise, man. He slips and hips, he falls over, he gets hit on the snowboarding trails. He's not having good times with the wakeboarding.
Yeah, this dude.
You still have Ryan is still the go-to.
The question is,
Ryan causes the injuries is the big one.
So I think one of the metrics we need to track is the over/under on handshakes Ryan actually gets to give people. It's a dangerous game. I'm just thinking about, like, okay, we have a most injured award, and like someone, and I don't like to say this because I feel like it's bad or whatever, but like someone goes out and blows both quads, like, are Tanner and Tommy going to be like, congratulations, you won the most injured award? Like, it's just like, well, that's a little harsh, a little on the nose there. Like somebody's like carted out in a stretcher. Huh?
But how's his elbow? Oh, your knees are bad. Well, what about your elbow?
Yeah. But it's just like,
best package is going to be a tough one too.
Yeah. Is Eddie going?
Eddie's not going to be here. Yeah.
So there's an opening. Someone's got to pick up some gold chain.
But that's a big shoes to fill right there.
Yeah. He
did a good job last year. Yep.
He comes packing for sure. I want to see. Go ahead.
Was his package rough? The York roundhead dumbbells, like, was that his package that he brought, and that's why he won?
Yeah, someone should just bring Tanner an extra set of York roundheads, and they could attempt to win best package. Now, that would be an excellent idea. Someone should just bring a literal gift and see if they can win best package for a literal gift. I think that's You want to, okay, secret to the listeners, if you can get a time machine. I think the secret is you go out and find some ugly water for Tanner, and you might find yourself winning the best package award. So,
you mean they don't want dirt soda?
Yeah. What was the other, ranch water?
Ranch water or the hot wings soda?
Or the bacon one, yeah, all those good ones.
Hot dog water soda.
Yeah.
That one.
Those are fantastic. I think that covers all the awards. I have another small announcement. I'm just making announcements all the way through. You guys are. This won't release until afterwards. I've been working on a top secret project with Big Jake for the Strongman show. I will not be there in person, but I will be there in programmatic spirit. I have developed a Strongman scoreboard app for Jake to use to display the ongoings of the Strongman competition. So I've been made privy to some very secret information that I've kept secret. But I'm very excited to see that be put to use. Hopefully, Jake says they thought they were going to use TVs. Now they're using projectors for it. And he's like, I don't even know if anyone will be able to see anything, and I'll be crushed. But, well, if anyone wants, we don't use it at this show. If anyone needs a Strongman scoreboard, I built a whole thing out that someone can use someday.
Go post a link and put on Iron Podium. $5 per download.
Yeah, it's
rolling in it.
You're gonna have to stream it to me, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm doing the announcing for it, so I'm gonna need a little help.
Yeah, it'll be it's a fun little tool. Jake came to me like months ago and was like, "Hey, you do like software stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And he was like, "Do you think I could make a scoreboard for the Strongman stuff on like Squarespace?" And I was like, "No chance, but give me this weekend and I'll see what I can come up for you." And so we collectively built a little tool. They can come in and like select which athletes are up there, and it displays that, and then they can say, "Hey, we're going to do like the max log press," and they can type in the weight and it'll display the weight really big, all kinds of stuff. So I'm excited to see that go out. I hope that
the Strongman version of what they do for the powerlifting, the program they have that they post up on the screens with lifter, weight, loading chart, all that kind of stuff.
They won't have a loading chart because Strongman, like, how do you show a rock?
But similar to that.
Yeah. It'll show like their name.
Just a picture of Brock.
Yeah. It's just this is who we're moving. So like they can come in and say, it's going to be like Big Matt. They can select, and then Big Tanner's competing after them, and then what event they're going to compete in. So max log event, deadlift for reps. And then it'll display like the name, what weight class they're in, how much the implement weighs, and then they have a button that they can just increment the reps as they get completed, so people can follow along.
Freaking awesome,
stuff like that. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Hopefully it gets used.
It's like a small thing, but that's really cool, man.
Yeah, when Jake asked me, I was like, oh yeah, I guess like all these people in the crowd have no idea what's going on, so some like guidance there would probably be helpful, because Strongman just gets. I mean, even the Strongman don't know what's going on in Strongman, not Smart Man, right?
Strongman, it's esoteric in nature.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see.
So you know what the shield is?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's what I'm excited for. I want to see that shield.
Oh yeah, I got to take this down. It's got top secret information. You're all under an NDA. Keith, don't spread any news.
He's probably dead asleep now under those covers.
Yeah, no, he's still posting stuff. But yeah, top secret NDA. I forgot I can't share that link yet. There's top secret information in there. Oof.
Man, I'll
talk to Jake about it and I'll make it looped in because
you better hope. Keith already clicked on that thing already.
Keith's sending out screenshots. I had to shut that down real quick. Woo. Man, he's doing work under that bed sheet.
He's already posted on Home Gym Con 2025.
And now it's an Iron Podium.
Yep. It's almost Saturday. Yes. Thank you, Keith. Sound off in the chat. Let's see. What else do we got? Prediction wise. I think Kevin put this in there. What will Tanner's new go-to Midwest phrase be? I loved that concept. I feel like Tanner has been evolving. He still references the old ones, but he keeps ushering in new phrases. So do you think there's anything?
Yeah, 2 years ago at the Arnold, it was working hard or hardly working. Last year it was put one on the old vice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think last year he also said, I guess they'll let anyone in here.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's a winner.
I still think the Vice is going to win this time, at least this weekend.
Yeah, he's definitely that can be the standard greeting.
Yeah, the Vice is definitely going to. There's a lot of hands to shake.
A lot of vices to clamp, man. A lot of vices to clamp.
What if it's just a good old putter there?
You think he'll convert?
Yeah.
He'll move away from the vice?
I don't know, but he may bring it in to mix it up a little bit.
I mean, that would be unprecedented.
Maybe he's hiding.
You don't want to get stale, right? That's kind of a key thing.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Massonomic's MO is to run stuff pretty far into the ground.
Oh no, we kick the living shit out of that dead horse.
Yeah, well, we do beat dead horses into the ground.
Every time I hit somebody in real life with a put it in the old vice, I get the best reactions. People love that.
Just a dead stare.
Yeah, they're just like, oh yeah, like
that's how I got Rob when he was over here, and he cracked up with that.
Like, no offense, Scants, but you go up to an old man and you say, "Hey, just put it here, put it in the old vice." They're just like, I've gained so much respect from them. Like it,
dude, we're one. We're already past introductions, but we're there.
Yeah, that's always all right.
Family secret now.
Good old icebreaker.
Yeah.
Well, you've cracked the code, dude. You've cracked the code.
Yeah, 1612. Shout out to Wolfpack. Other important things. Will Bryce make weight? What do we think?
Super heavyweights do make weight.
Well, I mean, I know it's a hotly debated thing. I feel like we haven't heard much from the rumor mill on if he'll make weight or not,
and that's what gets me nervous.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the best for him. I'd hate to see him not make weight. I'd hate to see it.
The worst part is I'd hate to see him cut for weight and then just have the trouble getting the bloat back.
Yeah, that would be
recovery back from the cut, man.
And what if that hurts his numbers? He cramps up or something.
That's it.
It'd be tough.
We'll have to wait and see. It's the only thing we can do. I forgot to mention we mentioned the Shield event. Any guesses on what's going on there?
We got a little bit of a hint. Jake said that we would have a chance to look at it and touch it on Friday, but it won't be loaded. So it's some sort of loadable implement. And then obviously so it can change weight from the different classes, the big men, the bigger men.
Like a lift emblem is what I thought. But after looking at it, like the blurred vision of it, it doesn't look like that.
I think the easiest would have been just a rectangle, but they just say it's the outline of South Dakota.
Mm.
I'm hoping it's the strongman Mount Rushmore in perfect.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
So who's?
Yeah. So
not to get off topic, but who is the strongman Mount Rushmore?
Z. You got to go Kaz.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got to go Marius. You got to go John Paul.
John Paul?
Yeah.
I was thinking Shaw is...
Yeah, Shaw not on the list is...
Yeah, that's...
It's a rough one. I would drop Kaz, and I would add Shaw.
Yeah. Keith in the chat says Magnus greater than all.
Were you? Who?
Keith.
Who's
in
saying?
the chat. Grandpa,
From under his covers.
The chat.
Just get on here and talk.
We can't understand him. Yeah. Keith said, Nathan, we need you to host this podcast. I can't be on that the week of the Lift Hard Live Easy podcast. Keith's been here the whole time. Keith and just blasting off messages.
So I will say, yeah, I can totally see Magnus on there. It's a rough go, right? It was like the FMK the other day there on the UU, with between Roddy Piper and Macho Man. Like both answers are correct, right?
Yeah.
But it's I look at John Paul. I'm going to give John Paul. I mean, his time was cut short.
Yeah.
Marius is a different one. Guys are like, well, Marius should have it. It's like Marius wasn't like, for those that don't realize it at the time, there was a split in strongman where like
he didn't have
people went to IFSA and stuff like that. So
all the ideal
and that's it. He didn't compete against the true top tier guys and stuff like that, right? But when I see guys like what's the young fellow there from Scotland,
Stolmans?
The Stolman, everybody's like, Stolman's like no, he does well at World's Strongest Man, but he does okay at the other events, right?
Okay.
And okay. But when you look at John Paul and them, John Paul was a bodybuilder, a powerlifter, a strongman, Big Z, again, weightlifter, strongman, powerlifter. Like they were across multiple events, multiple sports.
If you make that argument, then you got to talk about Mark Henry too.
Oh my God! You know what? I'll throw that over there. Yeah, I'll give it. I would not put Mark Henry in the strongman only for the duration of time that he was in.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say that one on it. It's if you want to talk about all-time best strength athletes, Mark Henry, I will call number one, hands down.
Will he ever be on the podcast?
Will I don't even know why he's not. I mean,
he never answers anything.
That would be the jewel in his crown.
So growing up, like I remember Magnus Vermagnus, and I remember Kaz, but then like I don't remember anybody else, so I really can't say until Shaw came along, and then you watch Shaw just destroy everybody, and
well, and that's the age one too. Like it's very funny when you I see it now in the I'm online strongman stuff. Guys like they see where guys like Mitch Hooper now are doing very well, and they're like, we got to get back to the OG strongman with like these mass monsters. It's like, if you want to talk OG strongman, it's John Paul and Kaz and the Yokohama at 275 winning World's Strongest Man.
Man, they were ripped.
The guys, but it's age related, right? Like I watched guys like Brian Shaw when I was 15. I'm like, again, I was born in 1970. I'm watching World's Strongest Man with the old man at like when I'm 7, 8, 9 years old, right? So I got to see the smaller guys who were small, strong, and fast. And then we moved into the big mass monsters like Shaw and Big Z. Big Z's a mass monster. Eddie Hall, Eddie Hall. Yeah, Eddie Hall's great. Oh, is he static? Sure.
Yeah.
But so it's but again, it comes down to a what your definition of the strongest man is and all this kind of stuff. And I actually enjoyed the way they have it now. The Arnold is known as being strong as like heavy as hell, not a lot of moving. World's Strongest Man is a lot of moving at lighter weights. Like it's kind of so when I see somebody win, like Mitch Hooper win the Arnold plus World's Strongest Man, like that's a big feather in your cap because you are strong and fast, but you're also just dirty, nasty, short-term, 1 rep max strong, like, versus somebody who is strong and fast, but once you put weight on their back, they kind of collapse a little bit. So anyways, enough.
Yeah, derail that one.
You got me on a tangent, lads.
No, that was great. That was from historian Scants. We got the
just perspective is all that is what I get to the guys. It's all perspective.
Oh yeah, and I think like what Chris was saying, what you're saying is like it depends on when you started, because it's like for me, who I haven't been around the sport much, I haven't looked into the history much of like older competitors. You might not even know some of those names, right? Like you're just like, you know what I mean? Like you could just be like, well, Thor, Shaw, Eddie Hall, And it's like, wait, well, there's a lot of other people. And it's like, no, there aren't. Those are the only strongmen. So I think time does play an important role. And it's a lot different than like, major sports where it's like everyone's always talking about Michael Jordan or something like that. And it's like, newscasters are saying it frequently. But in the sport of strongman, I feel like those names don't get dropped frequently. I mean, they do in the right circle, but like I don't hear, like, you watch the Arnold, no one's dropping these, older classic strongman names. Like they're just talking about whoever's there.
Well, and that's it. And there's, when you look at the guys, Big Z, not a big social media profile. Mark Felix.
Yeah.
Like Mark Felix only started really kind of getting into social media about 3-4 years ago and stuff like that. But then you get guys, Tom Solman right now is, like even discussed it in those last couple of YouTube videos, is he is extending his social media reach to make a living.
Yeah.
And to create his, I'm not sure the right term of it, but it's not about just watch me do strongman. He's there.
Making a brand.
It's his job, is what it is. Like people, to make a 15-minute YouTube video, it's not like 15 minutes of me in the garage gym just letting the camera roll. There's like 30 hours of editing that goes into that. Like that's a job. And hey, man, I got no problem with that, right? So it's but it's funny. I kind of feel bad. Nick Best was a guy who kind of got in late to the social media side, but at the time they were just relying on being known as strong dudes and all this kind of stuff versus doing it as part of their job. Eddie Hall was,
Speaking of Eddie Hall, I don't know how this has not been brought up on any of the podcasts, or maybe it was and I missed it. But Eddie Hall fighting those two MMA fighters. Anyone else see that?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Dude, he clocked that dude.
Yeah. And that's just some funny ass shit, dude. Like,
yeah.
But I mean,
that's a total circus sideshow sort of event. I looked up those guys, expecting them to be like, like their brothers who happen to do MMA fighting. It's like
they're YouTube guys, weren't they?
They're like, their description when I looked them up were TikTokers who do MMA, not MMA fighters who do TikTok. Like, they had no business being anywhere near Eddie Hall.
Really
not that he's a fighter, but like he outweighed them combined.
I was going to say, both of them combined even weigh Eddie Hall.
You look at that fight they're doing,
145 each.
What's his name? Jake Paul and Tyson.
Yeah.
And then, everyone's like, oh, it's going to be great. And I'm like, this is a fucking joke. And then it was like, oh, here's the rules. Jake Paul's going to wear a massive pillow around his head and Eddie Hall's going to have like 48-ounce gloves and all this shit. It's like, nah, dude. If you want to fight Mike Tyson because you will die.
Yeah.
It gets into the kind of, the sideshow bit of it. But I mean, dogs got to eat, right? Can't blame a guy for making money, right? So, but
gotta make some money. Speaking of making money, check out our sponsor, Massonomics. Use code unpaid to get no money off, but you can use it.
Tell them we sent you.
But tell them we sent you. Tell them we sent you. Nice little ad break there. Any other predictions we want to touch on? Anything else? I got a little game for us. I want to hit before we wrap up, but any predictions? Anything we want to get off our chest to predict?
I don't think Ryan will get hurt, but I think he's going to.
I think he'll come hurt. I don't think he'll get injured there, but he will arrive in an injured state.
But he will arrive.
Yeah. Keith, that phrasing was specifically for you.
And I would say that Tanner's plants are probably.
We would hope so. I hope that porta potty keeps him safe, dude. I rest in peace whoever uses that porta potty.
I might have to Irish goodbye the Friday night party.
I tried to last year, and Tommy called me.
Dude, I'm still upset about trying to Irish goodbye at the Arnold, and I didn't successfully do that with my buddy Tom, which we'll get him on here in a minute. I would send a text out to him, see if he can get on. So we'll get to him here soon. All right. Anything else? We'll jump into a little game I've prepared called Do You Know Your Host? And I've hand-selected, artisanally combined, I think 10 total questions related to Mr. Big Keith and Mr. Big Joey. And so
Who?
Yeah, right. Who are they? The man sitting under the blanket, and the other guy that was here for a minute and said something funny, supposedly. So I got 10 questions. We'll go round robin. No awards, but I will say I'm pretty sure Keith and Joey said they'll give money to whoever wins. So this will.
Hey, you guys just want to split it? I'm down.
Down.
Any money's good money. So I've got 10 questions. The way this will work is it'll be something along the lines of this host's favorite color is orange, and you'll choose whether it's Joey or Keith. Now we will work on the honor system. Go.
Damn. Fuck, I already screwed it up.
Wait. He said Joey. I thought he said, oh, wait. My hearing's going out, man. Tanks and stuff.
Or why don't we do the how do you do like the hands up thing, or like to get the emotes
it used to be on there, but I think it's off now.
Turn it off.
Reactions.
But so I'll give you the question. You guys write down your answers at home. You're not allowed to change them. Once you've committed an answer, you got to stick with it. Keith just sent a photo of him sleeping in bed, so hold on as I save that.
I am very fucking disturbed by that.
Yep, I just need to keep that forever. New Keith had unlocked. Are
you guys on the gallery scene? You can't.
New Keith had unlocked. Thank you for that. I'm very excited about that.
Ooh, that has some good meme potential for like the how I sleep at night knowing that blank.
So speaking of knowing, question number 1, if you're ready.
So we just shouting out the answer.
We'll round robin. So we'll see who comes out on top.
She said.
Here we go. All right, question number 1.
As Joey would say.
This host went through a goth phase in high school.
Joey.
I can't read that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's got to be fucking Keith. I want a picture of Keith and eye mascara and fucking.
Chris?
No, it's
I'll say Keith.
Joey.
All right.
Joey with the painted nails.
Yeah, it's Kevin's right. Keith did not go through a goth era in high school.
Are you serious? He didn't wear Jenkos and long jeans.
I mean
that was his Juggalo era. There's a difference.
Yeah, big Fago guy. All right, question number 2. This host has visited Alaska. And hold your answers. We'll approach them together. Since we have everybody's prepared. We don't want to skew anyone's.
Okay, is that how we're doing it?
Yeah. Kevin, everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right. Kevin, what's your answer?
I'm going to say Joey because I don't think Keith is that well traveled.
All right. Scants?
I'm going to say Keith, but it was by accident. He thought he was going to Portland, Maine. Where the fuck am I?
Chris, who do you think it was?
I'm going Joe.
It was Keith. Keith to Alaska.
Oh,
a traveled man.
North to Alaska.
Traveled man.
Keith.
I have so much more to learn.
Yeah. Oh, just wait. We have a few more questions. All right. Question number 3. Hold on. Forgot about this one. So earlier today when I came up with this concept, I sent a message to Keith and Joey about 2 hours before this podcast, and I said, "Hey, I need some trivia, some facts And this host reported back this fact. This host,
what?
proclaimed they are a grower and not a shower.
I'm gonna have to ride the line on this one.
No riding the line. And I would like to say on podcast that I did not ask for photo evidence or any proof. I just took them at their word. So
I'm going to go.
Scants?
I am going to go under the Mark Ripto scale of 200 pounds. And I'm going to say that Keith would be the grower. Because he's hit that 200 pounds. He's a man-sized man. Here we go.
Kevin?
I think I'll say Joey to be contrarian.
Okay. No surprise that Keith was the one who wrote that.
Mr. Tick Jumps himself.
He's talking about his axle press, right?
Yeah, I hope so. Did not when I asked for those questions, that was not my expected expected response.
You didn't give me specifics?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hate to see the before. I feel bad for you for having to see the before and after. That's like,
yeah, but what a thanks for that, Keith. We appreciate that. A new Keith head, Keith information. You never know what we're gonna get here on the Unpaid and Underrated podcast. All right, next question. This host reports that they can dance but prefer not to.
Joey.
Kevin?
I would say Joey on that too. Keith doesn't think that he can dance.
Scants?
Yeah, to me, Keith is like Kevin Bacon in Footloose. I know he can fucking dance. He can just dance. So I'm going to say Joey too.
All right. You are all correct. Joey is the reported dancer. Maybe we'll see him unlock that on the top shelf.
Have we confirmed that with Morgan?
Listen, I just asked for facts. I don't know if any of them are true.
I'm just saying because it could be somebody thinking they're dancing when people are like, "What the fuck is wrong with that guy?"
Well, hey, you guys can report back after this weekend. We'll include this as a prediction. All right. Next question. This host has the most crew phone numbers.
That's an easy one.
Chris, who do you think that is?
It's got to be Keith.
Kevin?
I'm going to say Keith on that too.
Scants?
I'm going to say creepily Keith.
Yeah, creepily Keith. He slides in with the most crew phone numbers reported. 26 crew phone numbers. Keith has. If you want to get on that list, we'll get you connected. Just let us know. You can be texting Keith all day long.
So I just actually literally got Keith tonight. So does that trump his 26 with
he did at one point update me and say actually it's 26, so maybe that was timed up with getting your number. Maybe he'll report back in the chat from under his blanket.
God damn it, he just tricked me to get my goddamn number.
He's just trying to bump his numbers.
It's okay. I gave my wife, so
you're gonna get that grower, not a shower.
Yeah, careful.
Yeah, I said prove it.
Yeah, that's the only text. Question. Oh boy. Question number 6. This host has been driving the same car for 15 years.
I think that's Keith. I remember him talking about that on the podcast at once. I could totally see Joey driving the same car too.
You can't ride the line, buddy. No druthers here.
I'll call Keith.
Keith?
I'll say
you're going to call him?
Yeah, and ask him.
Phone a friend? No phone a friends in this game. Scants, who do you think it is?
I'm calling it as Keith. Joey talked about living in the city for a while. Kind of alludes to not car ownership, so I'm going with Keith. Plus, I enjoy the thought of Keith raging out at people not scooching up at a fucking left turn lane in the same vehicle for 15 years. Just the stench of rage would be fucking fantastic.
Yeah. Chris?
I gotta go Keith because who keeps a pillow for 30
years? Yeah.
Ooh, I know who does.
Not safe. Would not recommend doing that. You guys are correct.
I don't recommend.
It is our good friend, the Orange Glaze, that has had a car, the same car for 15 years. He also reports that his home gym is worth 15 times the value of that car. Is it related to the amount of years he owned it? And did he make that statistic up? Maybe. Does Keith have a spreadsheet of the total value of his gym? Yes. So he might be right. Did he? But we need to know if he Kelly Blue Booked it or not. Is it legit?
He has a Kelly
Blue Book it or Red Book?
Into a spreadsheet.
Yeah. What's a red book?
Gen Pop.
Oh. Did he rip a toe blue bucket? That's the question.
Blue Book, dealer's book.
Miss Kelly. All right. Here's a tough one. This host has never met me in person.
Ooh.
I actually know the factual answer to that, so I will answer last.
Or
Scants.
answer first.
No, Keith.
I'll hold it for Kevin's answer. Oh, I know the answer. I'm just going to see what he says. I will let him know if he's correct. I'm going to say Keith.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I'm trying to think of who you were under the table with.
Easy.
Wait, what?
No, I can't. No, I got Keith.
That's correct. I've never met Keith. Keith would not wait long enough at the Arnold to meet me and shake my hand.
That sounds about right.
And like, can you picture Keith being under the table with Nate?
It would have been
not at all.
I can picture him under the table with Nate with a chicken parm.
Yeah.
The best chicken parm from Aberdeen, South.
Yeah. Jen was like,
games.
Jen was very upset about him saying that. It was great.
But it's like a 6-hour ride to get to New York. I'm like, that's pretty far. But then again, you flew to Aberdeen. You had the best chicken parm of your life.
Yeah, I mean, you could make it to Cleveland in probably less time and get some pretty good chicken parm. So,
I mean, you live in Rochester. It's not a very small city. I'm pretty sure you could get some pretty good chicken parm there.
Yeah, for those not aware,
but not Aberdeen parm, though.
Yeah, Aberdeen parm.
Well, what he didn't realize was the chicken parm that he had was actually was pheasant parm.
Yeah. Pheasant parm. That's a contestant for the episode title. Pheasant parm. Yeah, for those unaware, Big Keith announced that the best chicken parm he ever had was in Aberdeen, South Dakota, to which our good friend, former guest, Big Jen, was very enraged in the fact that he would announce that the best chicken parm he had was in Aberdeen, South Dakota. So I don't know if that's an insult to Aberdeen as a city or to Keith, or I don't know what to do with it, but Jen was not happy, or Jin, however you prefer to call it.
Jin.
All right, we lost Scants. Scants disappeared. Every time Scants gets
have we
up,
considered that Jen just likes to scrap?
Yeah, that's
She
possible.
is from Iowa, right?
Yeah. Every time Scants is for the audio listeners at home, Scants has been standing up and going to get stuff throughout the night. He's got some.
I had to go get liquor and stuff.
Liquor, barely knew her. But every time Scant stands up, his shorts are awfully short, and I'm convinced we might have a grower shower unveil by accident, and like I get a little nervous.
You know what?
I think you sat on some gum.
I'm a goddamn gentleman, lads. I didn't wear my kilt tonight.
Yeah, every time he
You're
gets
welcome.
up, I'm like, that blur is doing the Lord's work right now. I'm getting real
You're
nervous.
welcome, lads.
This turns into a R-rated podcast real quick.
Have a little turtle head poking out.
What's going on?
Oh, jeez. All right, next question.
Is that a drink spotter in your pocket?
Yeah, is that a drink spotter Max?
Called an XL.
Drink spotter Magnum.
Yeah. All right, question number 8. This host has the bigger deadlift.
Based on what?
Joey.
I don't know. That's just the way we worded the question. I haven't thought too much about it, so just take it for whatever you want. Heavier max deadlift.
Joey.
I'm pretty sure that's Joey too.
It is Joey. I don't know if Scants answered, so.
You didn't.
Scants is feeling pretty good.
I'm just happy to be, along for the ride.
You're just happy to be here, right?
All right. Yep. This one might be a little tricky.
Oh God, a train leaves fucking Baltimore.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, Scants is just going to stand up and go, "It's time to be hitting the old dusty trail."
Yeah. All right. Question number 9. We got 2 more questions here. This host hates golf.
Oh, that's got to be the toughest one yet.
Yeah. Because I could see them both hating golf.
But only
maybe that's the trick answer.
Only one reported that they hate golf, and I did not confirm with the other that they also don't hate golf. So take that for what you will. I'm doing the heavy lifting out here, guys.
All right, I'm ready.
Joey.
Chris says Joey.
I'm
going to call it Keith.
Says Joey. Scant says Keith.
I'm going to say Keith. He's been a powerlifter long enough to know that any form of fucking walking is bullshit.
And I think Joey likes being outside, and golfing is a good excuse to smoke a cigar.
Yeah. And Keith knows that shit steals his gains. So
you think Keith hates golfing?
Hates it.
Unless we can get an official report from Keith, Joey's the only one that hates golf. I mean, Keith might, but Joey reported staunchly that he staunchly hates golf.
Said he doesn't mind golf.
Oh, so yeah, very much. In fact, Joey is the hater of golf. Chris is correct with that one. All right. And this last question is a geography question. So buckle up, boys. This host has been to the most combined states and provinces.
Providences?
Providence?
Are we getting into the misspelling part of the U and U podcast?
Sure. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's see how Joey wrote it.
Provinces?
So, province.
Provinces. Provinces. However you say that.
We already know it's Joey.
Well, no, we can.
Because you guys north of the border don't know enough about our geography.
Well, no, I got information from both of them. Keith can go to Canada.
Keith can easily go to Canada.
Under his blanket.
Yeah. The Canada in his mind.
I'll go Joey because I know he's been to Cali too. So I'm going.
Yeah, I'll say Joey because I think you might have ruined it and you're trying to save it.
What do you think, Scants?
I gotta go Joey.
So here's the conundrum. I don't know the official answer because Keith never reported back with my text message.
It would have been Joey anyways because Keith would have been like, "What's a fucking province?"
Yeah. So Joey has been to 10 states and 6 of whatever we call that other thing.
Canadian thing.
He's been to 10 states, 6 Canadians. Keith, when asked how many states he's been to, said, "I'm not big map," and then later reported that he's been to 15 to 20 states. So, based on the range that Keith gave us, I think Keith actually has been to the most states. But it's hard to tell because Keith is not, in fact, a big map.
I think
you think he's been to 2 or 3?
He might have driven through Rhode Island. Not sure.
Keith,
I got a good follow-up question for Geography 1 about the... was that the last question?
Yeah, that's the last question.
Okay. So this is another good geography question for... Cause I thought it was a question you were about to ask, but it wasn't.
Who's further
Between
east?
Keith and Joey, who lives further north?
Ooh.
Keith. I say Keith only because... No, go ahead.
It honestly might come down to where they actually live within their cities.
Because I know Joey's in Hamilton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so... And Rochester's slightly north of Niagara too. So
yeah, like it's really close.
Yeah, it's really close.
So at least according to this, just the city of Hamilton is like a tenth of a degree further north.
Really?
But Joey says he lives outside of Hamilton, so he could live further south or north. I don't know.
So when I was up there, I was at Bench Brewing Company one day.
Keith lives,
and he told me he's right around the corner from Bench Brewing.
Okay.
Don't dox him.
Or do.
Well, maybe I shouldn't be saying. I should not be saying that. I guess.
You're fine.
Now all of a sudden, the general vicinity gets out.
He lives in Canada. Oh shoot, we doxed him.
Damn it, he probably knows fucking Gary too. Shit.
Calculating our scores, and I believe I'm not actually going to count these, but I'm pretty sure Kevin won. Congratulations, Kevin. The winner of the Best Massonomics episode draft. The winner of Do You Know Your Host? What can't he do? Take a lap, Kevin.
Is him using NASA computers legal?
What?
Is him using NASA computers? Is that
That's a valid question. That's a valid question.
Keith said 16 states, one part of Canada.
Yep. So
Keith who? Keith fucking who?
What is a part of Canada?
Aren't you sleeping?
Yeah. Go back to bed, Keith. But all right, boys. I think it's time we bring it on home.
Yeah, it's been a good one.
Thanks for coming, listeners. If you're still there, Grant's mom, if you're listening, I want to. My goal for the Unpaid and Underrated podcast for this year is to get Grant's mom to not only listen to the OK podcast, but our cousin podcast, but also the Unpaid and Underrated podcast. So, Grant's mom, if you're listening, thanks for listening. And all the rest of you crew, we're glad to have you. We hope we see you in Aberdeen, South Dakota this weekend. If we don't, I'm sorry. You can come to Akron, Ohio. I'll be here holding down the fort, editing this podcast, clipping out where my wife asked me about a dryer, getting that out of there. And I rudely said, "What do you need?" What a bad dad move, bad husband move. So we'll go apologize for that. We'll edit a podcast. We'll be doing everything here in Akron while you guys are out in Aberdeen having the time of your life. But let's where can we find y'all? Chris?
Scants, you lead it off.
Oh, Scants? You want to lead it? Where can we find you?
Your collective mom's houses.
Yep.
There you
as it goes. Scants one, baby. That's it.
And don't follow the Australian guy.
Yeah. No, but do follow the Australian guy. He's a fucking great dude, man.
All right. Go follow Scants and Scants one. Maybe we'll get a Scants 2 out there in the world. Who knows? Kevin, where can we find you?
Kevin_RSG_18 on Instagram. And go check out Vintage Weights PGH Ray Hill Strong Gym Tour.
Absolutely.
Fantastic video, by the way, my man.
Absolutely. Maybe while you guys are all out in Aberdeen, I'll take a minute. I'll watch that video.
There you go.
And then I'll know what's going on. Big Chris, where can we find you?
Big Damager, beerbelly_lists, and that's
Killer. And you can find me at Nate E561 on Instagram. Wherever else you
find Keith.
Where can we find Keith? Well, you can find his Orange Gym, the No Wine Cellar. You can find his accounts that he doesn't create but are about him at the No Wine Garage. There's the Orange Glaze account.
I think you can find him under the covers.
Yeah, you can find him under the covers. You can find Keith.
Find his grower and shower on OnlyFans at Orange Glaze.
Yeah, under the pseudonym Orange Glaze. Yeah, I guess we have a whole new thing that we could put on that site. You're right. Maybe we can bring it back to life.
Orange Grower.
Yeah, Orange Grower. One might think that's just a orange tree farm, but don't type that in your Google. Safe search on, kids. Sorry to Matt as well. Hopefully you can work something out while you're in Aberdeen with these boys to get you on the podcast. Make sure you follow Keith Honeycutt 73 as well. That's important. Joey doesn't want you to follow him, but make sure you find him on Facebook. Keith's making sure I hit all these things. Our Instagram, you want to follow the podcast. You want to see who knows what. You want to see some Road to Lift Hard, Live Easy. You want to know how people got there? Will you see my video? Probably not. But you can follow Unpaid and Underrated Podcast on Instagram. Hit up our website if you want to find some links, unpaidinternpodcast.com. We got a YouTube. Go to YouTube, subscribe. One of these days, Keith will remind me to put our collab ad that we shot on YouTube, and I'll actually do it. So you'll be able to see that there. But yeah, that's all we got for today, boys. So, almost forgot. Most importantly, don't forget our sponsors, Massonomics, Obsidian, Barbell Rescue, Plate Snacks. Use code UNPAID. Home Gym Con, if you're going, think ahead. Let's get there. Let's do it. I guess I have to say this now. We'll see you next Tuesday.